Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the Viking girls are looking to stay on the winning track as they travel to Clear Lake to take on the Clear Lake Warriors. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Clear Lake Warriors and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Sarar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Clear Lake High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the Clear Lake Warriors and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to keep with their winning ways following their 46-36 win last Tuesday over the Bloomer Blackhawks. In that win over the Bloomer Blackhawks, the Vikings struggled in the first half, but then seemed to find their game and took control in the second half. Leading the way for the Vikings was 5'7" sophomore McKenna Shipman, who hit on 4 field goals, 2 3-pointers, and went 6 for 9 from the free throw line for 20 points. Jeanette Hajdukovic followed with 8 second-half points. Kaysen Goodell contributed 6, while Ainsley Olsen added 5 more. On the boards, the Vikings were led by Olsen, who grabbed 9 rebounds, followed by Shipman with 7 and Hajdukovic with 5. So far on the season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman, who's averaging 15 points per game. She's followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic at nearly 6 points per game and Olsen at 5 points per game. On the boards, the Vikings are led by Shipman, who's pulling down 7 rebounds per game, as well as Olsen, who grabs 6 per game. Meanwhile, Hajdukovic and Jada Anderson combine for another 7 boards per game. The 2-0 Clear Lake Warriors opened their 2022-2023 season on November 17th with a convincing 60-24 win over the Spring Valley Cardinals. They then traveled to Winter last Tuesday for a 56-46 win over the Winter Warriors. In that game last Tuesday, Clear Lake was led in scoring by 5'8" junior Brenna Peterson with 18 points. She was followed by juniors Nora Eggert and Ellie Kress, who scored 13 and 12 points respectively. So far on the season, leading the way for Clear Lake in scoring is Eggert, who is averaging 16 points per game. She's followed by Peterson at 14.5 points per game and junior Kate Rosen at 11.5 points per game. On the boards, the Warriors are led by Kress, who's pulling down nearly 12 rebounds per game, as well as Rosen, who grabs 9 per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Sarar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do,
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, last Tuesday, the Vikings picked up their first win of the season in a game that could have been described as a tale of two halves with their 46-36 victory over the Bloomer Blackhawks. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, like you said, I think we came out kind of soft in the first half. We, didn't take care of the ball. We got killed on the defensive rebounds. We let them, have a ton of multiple attempts at their basket. So I asked the girls to respond and fix some things at halftime, and they did. And luckily for us, the deficit wasn't too big at halftime. I think it definitely could have been a lot bigger, but we responded and handled it, second half. So I was, happy with the way that half went. But I think in the game we had 25 turnovers and 13 assists, and that you're not going to, win a lot of games with that kind of assist to turnover ratio. And, that giving the team or the opposing team a chance at 50 extra points if they're able to convert on every single one of those turnovers, that's just way too much. So we really have to learn to value the ball and limit those turnovers.
Now, the Vikings did seem to find their pace in the second half, especially on the offensive boards, which also led to some increased scoring, like McKenna Shipman's 20 points and 7 rebounds. Your comments about that?
Yeah, I asked them, I think, first half we were just kind of complacent. We didn't really attack the boards at all. We just kind of let them, have an easy rebound. And then, second half, I think we started to, hustle after the ball a little bit more and try to gain some positioning. I thought, it was a much better effort. I thought that was the one thing, that I was looking for, was just more overall effort. It seems like we just kind of gave up a little bit easy.
Now, in the second half, it did seem as though the Vikings did a pretty good job of keeping Bloomer out of the paint and forcing them to take longer, low-percentage shots. Is that kind of the game plan overall?
I think defense is definitely our strong suit. We have a lot of kids who can, guard the ball, and with, Jeanette Ainsley inside, that kind of changes things as far as, height. And, Jeanette's a great shot blocker. She's got great timing. So, yeah, they didn't really look to work it inside that much. I think they kind of relied on their outside shot. And luckily for us, second half, they just, they couldn't make anything either. So that really helped.
Now, tonight, the Vikings are going to take on the unbeaten Clear Lake Warriors. What can you tell us about the Warriors?
I know they have a lot of, athletic kids and a couple kids who can really shoot. I haven't seen them play yet this year, but I know that they are, missing their 2 best players from last year, and the 2 Rosine girls. So I'm sure they're kind of in that same situation that we are in, trying to figure out, who you are at the beginning of the year with, a couple of important players gone from the season before. But I know that, they have a really athletic, another Rosine girl who's left-handed. I think they'll look to her to do a lot of their scoring. They have a ton of kids who are averaging, double-digit points and double-digit rebounds. So I think, kind of like us, they're looking for multiple kids to fill those shoes from last year.
Now, last season, the Vikings were able to defeat the Warriors 70-42. Do you think that a lopsided win like that for the Vikings will be a motivating factor for Clear Lake?
Yeah, I think anytime somebody can get a win against us, they're happy. You get tired of losing, to a program, and you really want to win. And I'm sure they have this one circled on their calendar.
Now, should we look for any major changes in the Vikings lineup tonight?
Nope.
No, just what we've been seeing is what we're going to get. Okay. Well, good luck, Coach Serrar, in tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can just keep things rolling down that winning track.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You are there for them. We are here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 1-1 Vikings are looking to stay on the winning track as they prepare to take on the 2-0 Clear Lake Warriors. On the other hand, the Warriors would like to show that they have some unfinished business and would like to improve on last season's 20-7 record, as well as get a little bit of revenge for last season's 70-42 loss to the Vikings. So the stage is set for some exciting high school girls basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to Clear Lake High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Clear Lake Warriors. So it's Viking Girls Basketball coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My. Oh.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
This gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top 3-2. And good evening and welcome to Clear Lake High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, he's my wingman tonight, and Chris Olson on the camera. And we're getting ready to bring you Viking basketball between the Colfax Vikings and the Clear Lake Warriors. Warriors undefeated on the season. Vikings come into tonight's game with a record of 1-1. And Dan, why don't you tell us who's going to play in tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Clear Lake Warriors. They're going to go with 5'5" sophomore guard Brandy Madison. 5'8" junior guard number 4 Ellie Kress. 5'10" junior forward number 5 Kate Rosen. 5'8" junior forward 23 Brennan Peterson. And 5'9" junior guard, number 25, Nora Egger. For the Vikings, they're going to go with 5'6 senior, number 10, Molly Hydorn. 5'9 senior, number 14, Ainsley Olsen. 5'7 junior, number 32, Jada Anderson. 5'10 junior, number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And 5'7 junior, number 42, McKenna Shipman.
And no matter how many times you say Jeanette's last name, it always gets stuck about halfway out.
It does.
And folks, if you haven't been able to figure it out, yes, we have a live pep band here, and they have all kinds of energy, and that's the way it ought to be. And I have no problem having to deal with the pep band in the background because that just brings spirit to the place. Hey, the Viking JV won and the opener tonight by a score of 33-26. So we'll see if the varsity can't keep things going the same way. Again, the Clear Lake Warriors are unbeaten on the season, having garnered victories over Spring Valley and Winter. Vikings are 1-1. Their loss was to Division I powerhouse Hudson, and then the victory over Bloomer last Tuesday. As the teams are heading over toward their benches, Dan, real quick thoughts coming into this one.
Yeah, I think Colfax is starting to get their game figured out, and one thing they got to make sure they do tonight is get back on defense, because Clear Lake's going to push that ball and try to stay out of the foul in the second half. Try to keep Clear Lake off the free throw line.
As we're getting the Clear Lake fight song, and the pom-pom girls out in the middle of the floor as they try to get themselves fired up. And then we'll have the national anthem starting lineup, and we'll get this one underway in just a moment or so. Let's send it down to the scores table.
Between the Colfax Vikings and the Clear Lake Warriors. The Lakeland Conference at Clear Lake High School reminds student athletes, coaches, and spectators to exemplify good sportsmanship. Please help foster a spirit of sportsmanship by appreciating the efforts of both teams, the coaches, and the officials in tonight's contest in a positive manner. We would ask you at this time to turn the ringers off on your cell phones. And if you are able, would you please rise and remove your hats in honor of our country and those who fought for our freedom. As the Clear Lake Pep Band, under the direction of Mr. Nick Burhan, plays our national anthem.
And that's the Clear Lake High School Pep Band with our national anthem. Let's send it right back down to the scores table for tonight's starting lineups.
Introducing tonight's starting lineups for the Colfax Vikings, number 10, senior Molly Hydorn. Number 14, senior Ainsley Olsen. Number 32, junior Jayla Anderson. Carly Gibbison and Joe Doucette. Starting tonight for the Clear Lake Warriors, number 3, Sonia
And those were the starting lineups for tonight's game from the scores table. Run them by once again. For the Clear Lake Warriors, it'll be Madison, Kress, Rosen, Peterson, and Eggert. And for the Vikings, Hydorn, Olsen, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. Warriors out on the floor, and Rosen will be jumping center. And she'll jump against Ainsley Olsen. Officials checking with each other. Look at the scorers table. And the ball goes up. And the tip is controlled by the Vikings. Hydorn brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side. Back out high to Hydorn to Anderson on the right. Cross court pass to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way in and out. No good. Rebound back up and off by Hajdukovic. And Clear Lake comes away with it. This is Kress across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Eggert. Back out high to Rosen. Over to Kress on the left to Eggert. Eggert drives it down the right side. Gets it to Madison. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up by Rosen. No good. And a whistle and a foul underneath. And the foul is going to be on Olsen. First personal. First foul on anybody. No score, just underway. And the shot is up and in. Second shot. It's on the way. It's good. Kate Rosen puts the first 2 points on the board for the Clear Lake Warriors. Vikings have it on the right side. Anderson with it. Gets it out high to Hydorn. To Olsen in the lane. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic. She kicks it back out to Anderson. To Olsen from the free throw line. Shot goes up. Rattles around. No, it doesn't go. And coming down with it is Ellie Kress for the Warriors. She gets it over to Eggert on the right side. Drives in. No good. Rebound right back up and in by Kate Rosen. So it's Kate Rosen 4 and the Vikings nothing. Hydorn with it. Gets it on the right wing to Anderson. Back to Olsen, out to Hydorn, over to the left side to Shipman. Over to Anderson to Hajdukovic. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken away by the Clear Lake Warriors. Vikings not getting any rebounds yet.
Yeah, they're getting good looks, just not falling.
Pass gets away from Kress, but she chases it down. Eggert with it. Between the circles, gets it over to the right side. Now back out high to Peterson. She's at the top of the key. Backs up to between the circles. Takes it over to the right side, still in the dribble. Gets it over to Madison. Now she's got it between the circles. Over to the right side to Eggert. Eggert feeds it down underneath. Ball gets tapped away, and Olsen has it. Gets it to Hydorn, and the Vikings bring it down the floor. Hydorn at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left side for Shipman, but she couldn't find the handle, and it gets out of bounds. Nora Eggert inbounds. Gets it to Kress. Comes right through the center circle for the Warriors. Feeds it into the paint. Driving down, putting the shot up is Rosen, and we're going to get a foul underneath, and I think they got Olsen with a second.
They
nope.
did.
Hajdukovic. First personal on Hajdukovic. Shot is up and no good by Rosen. Anderson and Olsen come out. Nigaman and Goodell go in for the Vikings. Second shot on the way, rattles around and goes in. 5-0, Clear Lake on top. It's just like the start the Vikings had the other day over in Bloomer. Goodell out to Hydorn, over to the left side to Shipman, back to Hydorn, to Hajdukovic underneath, overlaid, rebound taken down by Hajdukovic, but the ball taken away by Clear Lake. The shot was by Nigaman. Clear Lake feeds it down to the left baseline. Shot goes up. It's partially blocked. That shot was by Peterson, and the Vikings come down the floor. Goodell with it at the left elbow. Now they get it over to the right side to Shipman. Feeds it underneath the Hajdukovic. And we have a tie-up on the floor. Jump ball. Possession arrow should be in favor of Clear Lake, and it is.
Yeah, Colfax shots ain't falling yet, but they are getting back on defense and getting rebounds.
So Ellie Kress with the ball. Comes across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Rosen. She takes it back out high. Gives it off. Three-pointer on the way by Nora Eggert is no good. Rebound by Nigaman, and down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn with it. She feeds it out to the right side to Goodell. Back to Hydorn, into the lane to Hajdukovic. Back out to Hydorn. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Clear Lake Warriors, and down the floor they come. Kress on the dribble. Takes it between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Eggert. Back out to Rosen, to Kress, down to the right baseline to Peterson. Then they get it back out to Peterson. Looking for somewhere to go. She gets it down to Rosen, puts a shot up off the side of the glass. No good, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. The foul's going to be on Kate Rosen. She went up in the air trying to get the rebound, and when she was coming down, she discovered there was a Viking standing in the runway, and she landed right on top of her. Down the floor comes Hydorn for the Vikings. They feed it over to the left side to Shipman, back to Hydorn. To Hajdukovic. Three-pointer by Molly Hydorn. Gets the Vikings on the board. 5-3, Clear Lake's on top. Warriors get it across the timeline. Peterson tied up, and she gets it over to Eggert at the top of the key. Eggert takes it down the right side. Gets it out to Madison. Madison tries to drive in, ran into traffic, and ran into an arm. It falls on Shipman. So the Warriors inbound it. They get it over to Kress. She puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Shipman comes down the floor on the right side. Gets it out to the top of the key. Now back over to Shipman, to Hajdukovic in the lane. Puts up the shot, no good. Hajdukovic gets her own rebound. Feeds it out. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Clear Lake. I think Dan thought they missed a travel, and I kind of agree with him. Ball goes out into the concession stand. Quickly comes back. Must not have liked the popcorn.
Yeah, Colfax has been getting great looks. They got good ball movement tonight, and they just need a few to fall right now.
So coming down the floor for the Vikings is J.C. Bovey. She feeds it over to the left side. Now back over to the right side to Goodell. Shot from the right baseline by Nigaman is no good. And the Warriors come down the floor. Kress feeds it off to Telejohn. Back to Kress, back to Telejohn at the top of the key. To Eggert. No, check that. That's Rosen. To Kress, to Telejohn. To Kress on the left side. She drives back up and gets it over to Peterson. Back to Kress. Still on the left side. Now she takes it out between the circles. Moves it over to the right side. It's Telejohn with it. To Rosen. Drives the lane. Puts it up. No good. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. And down the floor comes Goodell for the Vikings. She stops at the top of the key. Gets it over to Keltner on the left side. Back out high. And then down underneath. Hajdukovic puts up the shot. It finally goes in. Jeanette Hajdukovic has had shots at every part of the rim, and finally she got one to fall through. And we're tied at 5. The Warriors with it, and this is Rosen on the left side. Gets it out high to Peterson. Three-pointer goes in. Brenna Peterson with the three-pointer. 8-5, Clear Lake on top. 11:06 to go in the first half. Vikings have it at the top of the key. This is Bovey. She gets it over to the left side to Keltner. Back to Bovey, back to Keltner. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Bovey. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound tipped around. Coming down with it is Nigaman fighting hard for that. Rebound causes the jump ball. Boy, Nigaman fought for that one.
Yeah, that's one player that Colfax is glad they have on this team. She's scrappy underneath. She's not very big, but she's got some scrap.
Olsen back into the lineup, giving Hajdukovic a break. Keltner with it. Long pass. Over to Goodell. Now they get it out to Bovey to Keltner. Bovey at the top of the key. To Keltner on the left. Back out to Bovey.
Clear Lake's in the zone.
Back over to Keltner. Back over to Goodell. Shot is up, no good. Rebound, chased down by Olsen. They swing it over in underneath. Keltner puts a shot up. It's no good. Check that. That wasn't Keltner. That was Nigaman. This is Goodell taking it down the baseline, puts a shot up and draws the foul. The ball doesn't go through, but she drew the foul.
Second chance efforts for Colfax. Gets them to the line.
Kaysen Goodell. First shot up and no good. Shipman into the lineup for Nigaman. Second shot is up, and it goes in. Clear Lake on top, 8-6. Vikings putting some pressure on the Warriors. The Warriors break the press. Kress on the ball. She's on the right side. Gets it out to Telejohn. Back over to Kress on the right wing. Getting it out high to Eggert. Back over to Kress. Now Kress delivers or dribbles between the circles. Gets it to Eggert and
good foul. That'll be a jump ball.
At first I thought he called a travel the way his arms move, but we're behind the official, so it was hard to see, but he did call the foul that time. It was on Kaysen Goodell. It's her first personal, fourth team foul on the Vikings. Warriors with the ball. Kress on the dribble between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to Telejohn. Telejohn gets it out high to Peterson. Over to Kress. Down into the lane. Shot goes up and in by Kellen Hayden. 10-6. Clear Lake on top. 9:15 to go in the first half. Keltner with a three-pointer off the rim. No good. Rebound taken down by Hayden. Now they get it over to Kress, who brings it across the timeline. Kress feeds it over to Eggert. Back out to Kress. Oh, check that. That's Peterson. Now Kress. Now to Eggert. Eggert drives down the right side of the lane. Gets tapped around. Goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it's off the Vikings. Anderson and Hydorn in for the Vikings. Eggert looking for somewhere to go. Long inbound pass to Kress. She feeds it down to Eggert in the right corner. Eggert on the dribble. Nowhere to go. Gets it over to Kress on the right wing. Out high to Telejohn at the top of the key. Hands it off to Kress. Between the circles. Feeds it to Peterson at the left elbow. Now to the top of the key to Eggert. Eggert tries to drive into the lane, loses the handle, picked up by Clear Lake, and Hayden can't get into the lane with it, and the Vikings take it away down the floor. This is Anderson on the right side. Gets it out to Hydorn, into the lane, back out to Anderson, three-pointer. She hit the three-pointer! 10-9, Vikings trail by 1. Down the floor comes Telejohn on the left side. Hands it off to Peterson, three-pointer on the way by Peterson. No good, rebound taken down by Shipman. She brings it down the floor. Gets it out to the top of the key to Hydorn. Over to Goodell, back to Shipman. Takes it to the top of the key. Shipman over to Anderson on the right. They swing it around to the left side. Goodell, her shot was no good. Vikings come away with it. The three-pointer by Molly Hydorn. And it puts the Vikings on top 12-10. Peterson getting under some pressure in the backcourt. They get it across the timeline. Now to Hayden down in the right corner. Try to feed it into the lane. Pass is intercepted by Anderson. And the Vikings bring it back down the floor. Shipman with it on the right side. Feeding it down to the baseline to Anderson. Back out high to Hydorn. To Goodell. To Olsen. Ball gets tipped and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Vikings ball.
Yeah, good ball movement more again for Colfax. They're getting open looks, getting second rebounds, second chances. And
then they're starting
helps.
to make them pay. Hajdukovic puts it up and in. Inbound pass to Hajdukovic, who went straight to the hole and put it in. 14-10, Vikings on top. Hayden with the ball. Gets it to Telejohn across the timeline. Driving down, ball gets knocked away by the Vikings. Hajdukovic blocked the pass. And down the floor comes Shipman. Gets it to Hajdukovic at the baseline. Back to Shipman. Out high to Hydorn. To Anderson. To Olsen. On the baseline. Turnaround jumper. No good. Rebound. We're going to get a pushing foul against Olsen.
I'm thinking Hajdukovic.
It's on Hajdukovic. You were right, Dan.
Her second.
That's Dan Petchow with the eagle eye there, picking up that foul. Down the floor comes Madison. She loses the handle to Hydorn. Brings it down, feeds it to Anderson. Anderson out to Hydorn. Hydorn with a three-pointer. Bounces off the rim, no good. Rebound tipped around. Coming away with it is Hayden for Clear Lake. Kress with the ball across the center line. Over to the right side, feeding it down into the lane to Hayden. Pass gets loose and picked up by Olsen, and the Vikings come back down the floor. Hydorn with it at the left elbow. Out to Olsen, three-pointer on the way, no good. Off the back of the iron, and Hayden with the rebound for Clear Lake. Kress has it. She brings it across the timeline now. Feeds it down to the right elbow to Hayden. Hayden takes it back out to the top of the key. Hands it off to Madison. Madison puts a shot up. It's no good. Olsen with the rebound. To Hydorn. Hydorn at the top of the key. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Feeds it back out to the top of the key to Anderson. Anderson to the left side. Olsen left baseline. Back out high to Anderson. To Hydorn. Swinging it over to the right side. To Nigaman down on the right baseline. Back out to Shipman. To Hydorn, to Anderson on the left. Feeding it to Nigaman, to Olsen underneath. Lays it up and in.
Ainsley Olsen gets her first two.
16-10, Vikings on top. 4:42 to go in the first half. Down the floor comes Clear Lake. This is Madison with it. She puts a shot up, and we're going to get a blocking foul on Olsen. She knew it as soon as it happened. The head rolled back, the eyes rolled, and she was doing it all at her. She knew she got caught with her hand in the cookie jar.
That's her second.
Madison's first shot is no good. Goodell comes in for Olsen. They don't want her picking up a third foul real quick. Madison's second shot on the way. It's off the front of the air, no good. Rebound taken away by Shipman. To Hydorn. Vikings across the timeline. Feeding it over to the right side. Trying to get it underneath the Nigam, and it went off of a leg of Clear Lake, and they've got the ball. Down the floor comes Rosen, feeds it down into the left corner. Three-pointer on the way by Peterson is no good. And down the floor come the Vikings, and this is Goodell laying it up. It's a little too hard on the layup. And down the floor comes Clear Lake. A lot of end-to-end action right now. Madison with it. He gets it over to Rosen, and she tries to drive into the lane. We're going to get a foul. Fouls on Nigaman, and that'll be the 7th team foul on the Vikings. So that's going to put Kate Rosen to the line for the 1-on-1. Keltner into the lineup for the Vikings, giving Anderson a break. Shot is up, no good. Rebound chased down by Shipman. She feeds it out to Hydorn down the floor. Gets it down into the left corner, back out high to Shipman to Keltner in the right or left corner, and she puts a three up and in.
Meadows got her first three.
19-10, Vikings open up a 9-point lead, and the pass is stolen by Goodell. Out to Hydorn, over to Shipman on the left side. Keltner puts up another three. No, it doesn't go this time. Madison has it for the Clear Lake Warriors. She's between the circles, feeds it over to the right side to Telejohn. Down underneath to Peterson, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound. Taken down by Nigaman. To Hydorn. At the top of the key, gets it over to the left side to Keltner. And Keltner walked before she passed it off, and I think she knew it as soon as she did it. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings have opened up a 9-point lead. Peterson with it. Vikings putting on some pressure. Warriors get it across the timeline. Rosen with it on the left side. Getting it out high to Kress. Kress takes it into the lane, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be a foul on Kaysen Goodell, I believe. I believe that's her second, and that'll be the 8th team foul against the Vikings. So Ellie Kress goes to the line for the 1-on-1. J.C. Bovey into the lineup for the Vikings. For Goodell. First shot is up, no good. Rebound powerfully taken down by Shipman. Shipman's been really strong on the boards in this first half. Feed it over to the right side. And now into the lane for Shipman. Out to Bovey. Three-pointer just off the glass. No good. Peterson with the rebound for Clear Lake. And down the floor they come. Kress on the dribble. Ellie Kress has it between the circles. Gets it over to the right side. Then they feed Madison driving toward the basket, and she can't get it to go up. And the Vikings have it.
Shipman.
Hydorn directing traffic at the base of the center circle. Over to Bovey, back out high to Hydorn. Over to Bovey to Hydorn to Keltner. Back to Hydorn to Bovey on the right side. Back out to the top of the key to Hydorn. Dribbles it over to the left side. Gets it to Keltner. Feeds it into the lane to Nigaman. Turnaround jumper. It goes in. Autumn Nigaman makes it 21-10. And Clear Lake brings it down the floor. Under a minute and a half to go in the first half. And we're going to get a foul called. That foul is going to be on Meadow Keltner. That's her first personal, 9th team foul on the Vikings. 1-1 for Telejohn, I believe it is. I can't see her number from here. First shot is up, and it's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. To Hydorn at the top of the key. Gets it over to the left side. Back out high to Hydorn. To Bovey on the right. Back out high to Hydorn. Over to the left side to Keltner. Hydorn with it. To Bovey. To Hydorn. To Keltner. Feeding it into the lane to Nigaman. Puts it up. It won't go for. In and out. In and out. And finally out. Clear Lake comes down the floor. Kress with it. Feeds it over to the left side to Eggert. Pass was intended for Rosen, but it goes out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it.
Yeah, more good defense by Colfax.
Under 40 seconds to go in the first half. Bovey with it. Gets it over to Hydorn. Back to Bovey at the top of the key. To Keltner. To Bovey. To Keltner. To Bovey. Vikings killing some clock here. To Hydorn on the right. To Bovey between the circles. To Keltner on the left. To Hydorn on the right. 15 seconds. Hydorn to Bovey. To Keltner. To Bovey. To Hydorn. Three-pointer on the way, off the air, no good. Rebound with 3 seconds to go. 1 second, long shot is up, no good. And we have reached halftime. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have a Viking profile. And today we're going to learn about J.C. Bovey. And that brings us to the end of the first half with the score. The Vikings 21, the Clear Lake Warriors 10. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Banking on relationships.
Dairy State Bank's mobile app gives you full control of your finances. Misplace your debit card? Simply turn it off and no one else can use it. When you find the card, you turn it back on. You can also set spending limits. Great if your kids have a card. These and other features like mobile deposit let you bank from anywhere, anytime. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School Girls Basketball. Our next game will be on Thursday, December 1st, when the Vikings will travel to Mondovi to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pre-game at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, December 1st.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost in. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's one thing that can count on to be free. If it's one place.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with JC Bovey, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. And JC, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yep, I'm in cross country and track.
A lot of those cross country runners, and you guys had a taste of some success this year.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
And how did that get capped off?
It was really good. It was a really fun season.
And where did you end up going?
The state meet, which is in Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, I mean, don't be bashful about that. You guys made it all the way to state. That's something to blow your whistle about. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience has it been for you?
I started in 3rd grade, but I started playing with my older sister, so I always just loved it and was kind of just used to doing it on Saturdays.
Now, what's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
Probably to keep your head up through injuries and whatever else you go through.
And when you're not playing basketball, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to hang out with friends and go shopping.
Okay, it sounds like that could be a lot of fun. Now, let's throw a few rapid fire questions at you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, good old-fashioned standard. Your favorite color and why?
Blue. I like the ocean a lot. So.
Okay, then blue works, doesn't it? Yeah. And lots of different shades of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think that would be?
Probably to dunk in basketball.
Oh, the ability to get up and dunk in basketball, whatever you wanted to from anywhere on the floor, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now, with that kind of a superpower, of course, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So, what's JC's superhero name?
Probably Jumping JC.
There you go, Jumping JC. I could just see it. You start at your own free throw line and you launch yourself way down to the far end of the floor and put it through the hole.
Right.
Yeah, okay. We're looking for that this year.
Okay.
All right, favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Bucks, for sure.
Okay. How about your favorite collegiate team?
I don't have a preference, really.
Okay. All right. Is there a basketball player as you were growing up that really inspired you or affected the way you play your game?
Probably my sister Jana. She just kind of put a lot of effort into it. I always tried.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a shout out to you, Jana. We're talking with JC Bovey. And JC, what are your plans for after high school?
To go to college.
Do you know where or what your preference would be?
Just to stay around here, kind of like Stout or Eau Claire.
Okay. Do you have any idea what you'd be pursuing?
Maybe a realtor.
Okay. All right. So how about a shout out to the family? Now, you already gave part of a shout out.
Yeah, I did. Thanks for supporting me always and coming to my games.
And when people do come to Viking games to watch, what number are you going to wear and what position are you going to play?
I'm going to be 12 and probably a point guard or 1 or 2 or maybe a 3.
Okay. We want to thank Jana Bovey for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
And welcome back to Clear Lake High School, where the Vikings have opened up a 21-10 lead over the Clear Lake Warriors. Dan, how did we get to that score?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for Clear Lake. We have Brenna Peterson with 3, Kate Rosen with 3, Allie Kress with 2, and Kellen Hayden with 2 for the Colfax Vikings. Their leading scorers, Molly Hydorn with 6, followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic with 4, Jada Anderson with 3, Meadow Keltner with 3, Kason Goodell with 2, Inzi Olsen with 2, and Autumn Nigelman with 2.
And we're just about ready to start the second half. Vikings got off to a little bit of a slow start in the first half, but then started to turn it up and get things rolling, as the Warriors will have the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, ball control in the first half was big key for Colfax. They kept getting back on defense, getting rebounds. And
they were a little bit cold with their rebounding to start with, but then once they started to assert themselves on the glass, they were able to start making things happen at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they got good looks there in the first, 4 or 5 minutes. Just wouldn't fall. Just had to get in rhythm.
Yeah, I felt really badly for Jeanette Hajdukovic. She put some really good shots up and just could not get them to fall no matter what she did. All right, Vikings out on the floor. Eggert is getting ready to inbound the ball for the Clear Lake Warriors. 18 minutes on the clock. We're getting ready to start the second half. Eggert to inbound it to Kress. Clear Lake going from left to right. Feeding it into the free throw line to Peterson. She turns around at the left elbow. Ball gets knocked away. Olsen picks it up. Now it's getting fought for, and we're going to get a jump ball. It'll be Vikings ball. Anderson into Hydorn. Hydorn takes it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Lob pass into Hajdukovic. She can't get it, a little bit long. Saves it inbounds, but it's picked up by Eggert, and then they get it over to Kress, who brings it across the timeline over to Eggert on the left side. Back out high to Peterson from the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way. 21-13. Vikings by 8. Shipman with it. Gets it to Hajdukovic at the free throw line. Shot is no good. Peterson brings it down the floor and gets it over to Madison. Takes it across the timeline. Then to Kress between the circles. Over to the left side to Peterson. She goes up, and we're going to get a foul.
This will be on Ainsley.
It'll be her third. Peterson's free throw is up and in. So Nigelman in for Olsen. Second shot on the way. It's also good. So down the floor comes Hydorn for the Vikings. Vikings up by 6. They feed it over to the left side to Anderson. Back out high to Hydorn. To Shipman. To to Hajdukovic, back out to Hydorn. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound taken out of the crowd by Kress, and she comes across the timeline. Kress gets it over to Egger. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. To Hydorn, quickly down the floor. Gets it over to the right side to Anderson. Down to Nigaman in the right corner. Tries to feed it to Anderson, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball called. Anderson went to the floor with it, but they called a jump ball before she went down. Peterson with it to Kress. Long pass over to Rosen on the right side across the timeline. Back to Kress. She's high, wide, and right. Now takes it between the circles. To Peterson at the free throw line. To Eggert. Takes it into the lane. Kicks it out to Kress. Then to Eggert. Over to Madison on the left side. To Rosen. To Eggert. Drives into the lane. Puts a shot up and it's blocked. And Shipman brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it to Nigaman. Puts up a quick shot. No good. Rebound being battled for on the floor. And
the jump ball?
We have a foul. Foul is on Clear Lake, and it's against Brenna Peterson. That's her first personal, first team foul on Clear Lake. Vikings to inbound the ball. Get it over to Nigaman. Shot is a little bit short, and down the floor comes Clear Lake. This is Kress on the dribble, high, wide, and right. Gets it over to the left side to Peterson. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. Rebound put back up by Rosen. She drew the foul.
See if they get Jada or Jeanette.
And the foul is on
32.
Jada Anderson. It's the first foul on Anderson, and the first free throw missed everything by Rosen. Second shot is up. Rims around and out. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. Down the floor comes Hydorn. Hydorn stops at the free throw line. Gets it over to Shipman. Three-pointers no good. Rebound taken out of there by Kress. Kress down the floor across the timeline. Gets it over to the left side to Peterson. Peterson drives the left baseline. Shots blocked by Hajdukovic. Down the floor comes Hydorn. Feeds it over to Shipman. Another three-pointer on the way. Round and out. Shipman can't get those threes to fall. And we're going to get a travel call. Kress took an extra step trying to get rid of the ball. And the Vikings have it. 21-15, Vikings up by 6. Anderson with a shot, no good. Hajdukovic with the putback, and she got it. 23-6, Vikings finally take the lid off in the second half. Clear Lake has it, and we have a whistle and a travel. Brenna Peterson, we're going to get a timeout call by the Clear Lake Warriors with 14:32 to go in the game. Vikings 23, Clear Lake 15, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
On those days when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism-boosting teas, and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFem is a slam dunk. That's FitFem Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
And we're back here at Clear Lake High School. Vikings inbound the ball following the Clear Lake timeout. Vikings up by 8. Hydorn across the timeline between the circles, takes it over to the right side. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson at the top of the key. Back to Hydorn. On the right. Back out to Anderson. Over to Shipman. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. From the elbow, Nigaman with a shot. No good. Hajdukovic with a putback. No good. It couldn't quite crawl up over the rim, and Clear Lake comes away with it. Kress feeds it over to Peterson. Now out high to Rosen. Rosen Gets it out to Kress on the left side. To Peterson at the top of the key. To Rosen on the left side of the lane. Rosen tries the left baseline with a shot. No good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Heidorn to bring it down. Feeds it over on the left side to Shipman. To the free throw line to Hajdukovic. Ball gets tipped away but chased down by Shipman. Shipman between the circles. Gets it over to Heidorn. Heidorn over to the right side to Anderson. To Nigaman. Gets it back out to Anderson. Over to Shipman. Shipman drives into the lane. Puts up the shot. No, it won't go. Hajdukovic puts it up. It's going to count, and she drew the harm.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to crash the boards.
And the foul was on Hayden. That's her second personal, second team foul on the Clear Lake Warriors. Goodell into the lineup for the Vikings. Free throw is up, no good. Rebound is chased down. Bovey is also in for the Vikings. Clear Lake has the ball. Kress feeds it over to Eggert on the right side. Back out high to Rosen. Over to Kress, long three-pointer off the iron, no good. Rebound tipped around. Hajdukovic grabs it, gets it to Shipman. Shipman across the timeline. Over to the left side to Goodell. Back out high to Bovey. To Shipman. And it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Viking ball. It was tipped by Clear Lake. Telejohn into the lineup for Eggert for Clear Lake. Goodell gets it into Bovey, three-pointer, and she hit the three! J.C. Bovey with a three-pointer. 28-15, biggest lead of the night for the Vikings. Vikings putting some pressure on. Clear Lake having some trouble. They get it across the timeline to Peterson. Over to Rosen, and her pass is misdirected, and down the floor with a solo flight goes Shipman, and she lays it in, and we're going to get another timeout by Clear Lake as the Vikings have opened up a 30-15 lead, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Back here at Clear Lake High School, the Warriors inbound the ball as the Vikings are ahead by 15. 12-11 to go. Warriors cross the timeline with Kress. They get it over to Peterson on the left side. Back over to Telejohn on the right. To Hayden, down in the right corner. She loses the handle. It goes out of bounds. Evidently, it went off the Vikings. So Telejohn is going to inbound the ball. Madison into the lineup for Hayden for Clear Lake. Telejohn hands it in to Kress. Back out high to Telejohn. Over to Madison between the circles. Takes it over to the right side. Her pass is intercepted, and they're going to say that Hajdukovic walked. She didn't drag it very much, but yeah, I think it skidded a little bit there.
Yeah, she went to turn to pass it to somebody, and no one was there.
Dragged the toe just a hair. Keltner into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Nigaman. Ball gets inbound. Telejohn with a three-pointer on the way. Peterson with the putback. It's no good, and Shipman gets called for the foul.
I do believe that's her second.
So it's going to put Brenna Peterson to the line for 2. First shot is up and good. Has she missed yet tonight from the free throw line?
She's 3 for 3.
And her second shot is up, and that's also good. Make it 4 for 4. 30-17, Vikings on top. Goodell gets it over to Bovey, then to Keltner on the left side. Feeding it to Shipman, driving the lane. She draws the harm. The shot was no good, but Shipman's going to go to the line. And that's a foul on Kress. It's her first personal, third team foul against Clear Lake. First free throw is good. Vikings also have 3 fouls on them this half. Olsen back into the lineup. Probably with instructions, be a little cautious. She's got 3 fouls. Second shot is up. It's also good. 32-17. Vikings back up by 15. Kress inbounds it to Rosen. Rosen back over to Kress. Kress to Madison. Now across the timeline to Rosen at the top of the key. Over to the left side. Shot goes up. No good. That was a shot by Peterson. And down the floor come the Vikings. Goodell feeds it out to Shipman. And we're going to get a blocking foul called. I think it's going to be on Peterson. Nope.
15.
I'm wrong. Telejohn with the foul.
Her first.
Vikings to inbound. Olsen with a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by, that's Rosen. She brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to Kress between the circles. Tries to get it down underneath. Ball gets knocked away by Olsen. Just about took Keltner out of the play in the process. They kind of saved each other on that. Telejohn to inbound the ball. Basically hands it off to Kress, who has it high, wide, and right. Shot goes up, and it's good by Peterson. Olsen kind of slipped on defense down there, and Peterson ended up with a wide open shot. Vikings have it at the top of the key. They give it to Shipman. Turnaround jumper from the free throw line is no good. And down the floor comes Clear Lake. This is Madison on the dribble between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Kress. Kress to Rosen at the top of the key. To Madison on the left. Then down into the left corner to Telejohn. Shot goes up by Rosen. It's no good. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. Peterson with the foul, and that's her second, 5th team foul on Clear Lake. So the Vikings will have the ball. Anderson inbounds it to Goodell. Brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Hydorn on the right. Back out high to Goodell. Over to Anderson. Anderson to Goodell. Back over to Anderson on the left. Gets it to Olsen in the lane. Back out to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way. Bounces high. No good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Feeds it to Shipman. Cutting into the lane. Loose ball on the floor. And we get a jump ball called. It'll be Vikings ball. And Shipman is going to take a break. She's been working very hard out there. Inbound pass to Hajdukovic. Shot is no good. Olsen with the putback. No good. And away with it comes Clear Lake. This is Kress. Gets it over to Eggert on the right side. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound chased down by Peterson. Turnaround jumpers, no good. Olsen with the rebound. Gets it over to Goodell. Goodell between the circles. Over to the right side to Hydorn. Down to the baseline to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Hydorn. to Goodell. Three-pointer off the front of the iron, no good. Clear Lake with it. And down the floor comes Madison. She feeds it over to the left side to Kress. Over to Peterson, to Madison, then into the lane to Rosen. Then to Peterson, three-pointer by Brenna Peterson. She's got to be just about their leading scorer.
She's got all the points in the second half.
Vikings have it over on the right side to Anderson, to Hajdukovic in the lane. Back out high to Goodell. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound is hauled down by Nora Eggert to Kress. They get it across the timeline, feed it down low, and Hajdukovic steals it. She's on a solo flight, takes her time, and can't make the layup. And down the floor comes Clear Lake. Madison with it. Back out between the circles to Peterson. Over to Kress. Into the lane, and we have the ball tied up. Possession arrow in favor of Clear Lake. Shipman into the lineup, giving Goodell a break. Eggert looking for somewhere to go with it. Feeds it to Rosen. Now in the left corner to Eggert. Drives towards the lane, puts it up, it goes in. 32-24, Vikings lead has been cut to 8. Hydorn with it, stops from the right elbow, shot is no good. Long rebound taken down by Clear Lake. Chance to make it a two-possession game. They get it over to the left side, now back out to the top of the key, and over to the right side to Kress, to Peterson at the top of the key, back over to Kress on the right side. High, wide, and right. She drives to the free throw line, feeds it out to Eggert on the left. Back out high to Kress. Kress to Peterson on the left. Tries to feed it down underneath. Ball gets chased down and saved back inbounds. And three-pointer on the way by Hayden is no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. And down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn feeds it to Shipman. Puts the shot up. In and out, no good. Hajdukovic with the putback. She got fouled on the way up. Shot didn't go in, but at least she'll get a shot from the line. 32-24. Vikings on top, 6:47.
Fouls on number 5, Kate Rosen, her second.
Shot by Hajdukovic is off the front of the iron, then off the back of the iron, and then no good. Jeanette Hajdukovic, second shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman, puts the shot up, no good. This rebound is taken down by Telejohn, who brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to Kress, back to Telejohn on the left side, to Peterson, down toward the left baseline. Now out to the left wing to Telejohn, and she dribbled the ball out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. And down the floor come the Vikings. Passing underneath. Hajdukovic cannot get the shot to drop. Jeanette Hajdukovic just simply can't convince the ball to go through the hole. Clear Lake with the ball. Eggert inbounds it to Hayden. And the pass intended for Telejohn is out of bounds. There were no 2 feet inbounds on that one.
Yeah, both teams getting a little sloppier in the late in here in the second half.
Vikings still up by 8. Hydorn with it, gets it over to the right side to Anderson. Back out high to Hydorn. Feeds it underneath to Shipman. Tries to lay it up, it won't go. She tries to go up, and we're going to get a jump ball. They had all ball that time as she tried to go up with it. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Inbound pass by Anderson. Gets it into Hydorn, over to Olsen on the left side. Back over to Anderson on the right. To Hydorn, to Shipman, three-pointer on the way. It's in! McKenna Shipman with the three.
She has 7.
Clear Lake inbounds it. Viking putting some pressure on. They get it across the timeline over to Peterson on the right. To Eggert. Then out to the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Shipman with the ball. And down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn feeds it to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Hydorn. Over to Shipman on the left wing. Back over to Hydorn between the circles. To Anderson on the right side. To Olsen in the lane. Turn around. Shot is no good. And the rebound taken down by Clear Lake. 35-24. Vikings on top. This is Eggert with it on the left side. They get it to Peterson, top of the key. To Kress. Her pass into the lane gets tipped away. Picked up by Anderson and off to Hydorn. Here come the Vikings. Shipman on the left side. Olsen from three. No good. Rebound taken down by Clear Lake. This is Kress with it. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. So with 4:28 to go in the game, or in regulation time, it's the Vikings 35, Clear Lake 24. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dairy State Bank's mobile app gives you full control of your finances. Misplace your debit card? Simply turn it off and no one else can use it. When you find the card, you can turn it back on. You can also set spending limits. Great if your kids have a card. These and other features like mobile deposit let you bank from anywhere, anytime. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
And we're back here at Clear Lake High School. Vikings on top 35-24.
Quick shout out to our Iowa viewers tonight.
So we got viewers down there in Iowa. Shot goes up, and it's no good by Rosen. We do have a whistle. Foul. I believe it's on Hajdukovic. Fourth foul on the Vikings. Third foul on Hajdukovic. First free throw by Rosen is no good. So we have viewers down there in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Now, are they the same people sending us the snowstorm schedule for tomorrow?
I'm sure.
We could tell them thanks, but no thanks. After all, we do have a boys' game tomorrow night, and I'd sure like to see it happen. Vikings have the ball as the second free throw was missed. Hajdukovic with it. Over to the left side, gives it to Olsen as she drives in on the baseline. Shot is no good. Whistle and jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Clear Lake. 3:59, just under 4 minutes to go. Inbound pass to Rosen, to Eggert, to Peterson. Still in the backcourt. To Eggert, long pass up now to Rosen on the left side. To Kress, long three-pointer on the way is no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. To Shipman, and down the floor come the Vikings. They give it to Olsen, back out to Hajdukovic, to Shipman. She drives to the free throw line, gets it out to the right side to Hydorn. Hydorn puts the brakes on. Gets it to Shipman, drives down toward the baseline. We're going to get a blocking foul called. It looks like it's on Telejon. It is. It's her second personal. And it's the 7th team foul on Clear Lake, so Kenna Shipman at the line for the 1-on-1. First shot is up and good. (36-24), Vikings on top. Second shot on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Clear Lake. Peterson on the dribble. She takes it up across the timeline, feeds it over to Kress. Now to Eggert on the right side. They get it underneath to Rosen, puts up a shot, and it's either going to be Olsen or Hajdukovic.
I think they got Hajdukovic.
And it's on Hajdukovic. That's her 4th, I believe. Well, they're saying 3. I thought she had 3 the last time. Shot goes up and in by Eggert. Or to check that, that's Rosen. Vikings up by 11, 36-25. Second shot is up, no good. Rebound chased down by Olsen. Gets it over to Hydorn. And Hydorn on the dribble, taking her time through the backcourt, across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. To Shipman, gets knocked out of bounds by Peterson. Oh, they're going to say it just went off of... Boy, I tell you, Dan, I don't know how they called that. It definitely got knocked out of bounds by Peterson. Somehow Clear Lake got the ball. Madison with it, gets it to Rosen in the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. That rebound is taken down by Anderson. Down the floor comes Hydorn with it. She's between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Hajdukovic.
Colfax.
That pass was intended for Shipman, and it was tipped by Clear Lake.
With 2:33 left, Colfax can be patient.
Anderson inbounds it, but they have to connect on their passes because that one went right through the Viking legs, and Clear Lake lays it up no good. Rebound taken down by Hydorn. Hydorn right through the center circle over to Olsen. Olsen on the left side. Cross-court pass over to Anderson. Takes it between the circles to Shipman. High, wide, and right. Takes it to the free throw line. And she couldn't decide which foot she wanted to pass it off of. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. So with 2:04 to go, it's Vikings 36 and Clear Lake 25. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Tuesday, November 29th, when the Vikings travel to Amory to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Tuesday, November 29th.
And if you haven't checked out a game on NLWN-2, you should do that tomorrow. You find it the same way you find NLWN-TV, except you type in NLWN-2. And take you right to the game. Dan, you're going to be there, you along with Jay Fall.
Yeah.
Shot goes up by Clear Lake, is no good. That'll be from Amory. It'll be fun. Just down the road a piece.
Yeah, never been to that school before.
I think we have just to watch a game a couple years ago. We have a whistle and...
We get a foul.
We do get a foul.
This game's going to get one at the line now.
So Molly Hydorn goes to the line. The foul is on Madison. It's her first 8th team foul against Clear Lake. Free throw is up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Warriors. Kress with it. Takes it straight down into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Shipman on the dribble, gets it over to Hydorn. Hydorn, and Madison reaches in for another foul. Send Hydorn to the line. Be Madison's second and the 9th team foul. So Hydorn for the 1-and-1. After this, the Vikings will be in the double bonus. And the first shot is good. 37-25, Vikings on top. Second shot is up. No good. Rebound by Peterson. Down the floor comes Peterson across the timeline. Gets it over to Kress. Over to the right side now to Madison. Over to the left side to Eggert. To Rosen. Turnaround shot is no good. Olsen with the rebound and hands it off to Hydorn and brings it down the floor.
Colfax can hold for one.
Hydorn feeds it over to the left side to Shipman. Takes it over to the right side. Vikings going to try to pull out the corners here, I think, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Peterson. I think that's her third.
Third.
Okay. That's what they say anyway. That's what Dan says too.
That's what I got.
Shipman, first shot is no good. Second shot is good. 38-25, Vikings on top. Madison with it across the timeline. Her pass got batted right back into Madison's face, and then it went out of bounds. Anderson with the block on the pass. 33 seconds to go and a little bit of change. This one pretty securely in the victory column for the Vikings. Shipman across the timeline. Feeds it over to Anderson between the circles to Olsen. High, wide end to the right side. Now over to the left side to Hydorn. To Shipman. 14 seconds to Anderson on the right. She takes it over to the left. Feeds it to Olsen on the left side. Out to Hydorn. 3 seconds left. She puts the ball on her hip. And that will do it. Final score tonight, Vikings 38 and the Clear Lake Warriors 25. That gives the Vikings a record on the season of 2 wins and 1 loss, and it drops the Warriors also to a 2-1 record. And we'll have more about this game in Viking postgame, and that'll be coming up right after this timeout. You've been tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back here at Clear Lake High School as the spectators are starting to clear out. And they're going home a little, well, some of them are going home a little dejected. some of them are going home pretty happy as the Vikings come away with a 38-25 victory over the Clear Lake Warriors. Dan, your first thoughts about this one? Whoops, hang on. Helps if I turn on your mic.
Yeah, good job by Colfax tonight. I thought they did a really good job on defense and making Clear Lake be one and done. And free throws down the end. Colfax is always good at the line. And so that was a couple of the keys, I thought. They about halfway through the first half and halfway through the second, they got maybe a little fatigued and got a little sloppy, but good job to stick with it on defense and get the win.
And the Vikings did play really hard in this game, especially really good defense, and it's a good thing they play strong defense, which has always been a trademark of Viking basketball. But as Coach Sarar had said at the beginning of the season, there's going to be some games when the balls aren't going to fall through, and they got to have the defense keep them in the game, and that's pretty much what happened tonight. Defense kept them close until they could finally hit a few shots, and
yeah, Colfax got in a little defensive trouble there with Ainsley Olsen and Jeanette in the first half, and they had to go small, but they did a good job on the rebounds to keep the lead.
Well, Dan, that score was 38-25. Why don't you tell us how we got there?
Yeah, here's the scores for Clear Lake tonight. Their leading scorer was number 23, Brenna Peterson with 15, followed by Kate Rosen with 4. We had Eggert with 2. We had Crest with 2, and Kellen Hayden with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was McKenna Shipman. She had 9 points. This is one thing about the Vikings every season. They always have a bunch of girls that get in scoring. So we had McKenna leading the team with 9. We had Jeanette Hajdukovic with 8. Molly Hydorn with 7. We had a bunch of girls now. We had Jada Anderson with 3. We had Meadow Keltner with 3. Autumn Nigaman with 2. Ainsley Olsen with 2. And Kason Goodell with 2.
And that should come out to 38-25 in favor of the Vikings. Low-scoring game, but a game that the Vikings control most of the action. And I see Coach Sarar over on the far side of the gym. She should be coming over here very shortly. So let's take this time out while we wait for her to come over to talk to us as you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, or NLWN-TV, while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
And we're back here at Clear Lake High School, and joining us right now is Viking head coach Courtney Sarar. And Coach, congratulations, 38-25, victory number 2 on the season. And Vikings had to scrap for this one, but they seem to have things under control if we could just get a few shots to drop.
Yeah, for sure. I thought, we definitely outworked them. I was, much happier with how we defended and rebounded. Our assist turnover was positive. Like you said, we couldn't buy a basket second half. But I also thought that we played, great defense to get us through those stretches where, we weren't scoring.
And Dan and I were just talking about that. That's something you had said when we talked before the first game of the season, that with this team, until things start to really smooth out, there's going to be some times when scoring's going to be at a premium, and you're going to have to rely on that defense to keep you in the games. And boy, oh boy, that's what happened tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I was really impressed. We held them to 10 points first half, 15 points second half, and you're going to win games when you can, hold a team under 30 points. So we had a lot of shots go in and out, and again, that free throw shooting is not one of our strong points right now, so that's something we need to improve at. But overall, I thought we played our best game that we've played so far this year. So hopefully it just keeps going in that direction.
That's right. And you had to show that you could do it with a small lineup, because your big girls got in foul trouble early, and so they had to spend some time on the bench, and the smaller big girls went out and really scrapped.
Yeah, I was really impressed with our bench tonight. I thought, every time somebody else's number was called, they came in and, did exactly what they were supposed to do. We had a lot of kids, scrapping. I thought, Autumn was all over the place, and, Kaysen always plays great defense, and, Meadow and JC came off the bench and knocked down some huge threes for us, and Kenna didn't score first half, so our points had to come, from someone else, and I thought a lot of people stepped up.
Now, you're 2-1, and boy, oh boy, on Thursday, it's conference play. Take on Mondovi down at their place. What do you know about the Buffaloes?
They're kind of in the same boat that we are. They lost, quite a few, seniors from last year. I know it'll be their first game playing us on Thursday. So they've had a lot of time to prepare. I think that they'll, have watched a lot of film and understand, what it is that we're trying to do. And, we're the, defending conference champs, so we'll have to come ready to play.
And they got knocked out of the playoffs by the same team that knocked you out the night before, so they'd kind of like to prove that maybe they should have been there or something. But anyway, the Mondovi Buffaloes on Thursday night. Well, congratulations on tonight's 38-25 win. Let's go get them on Thursday.
All right, thank you.
And we'll have more Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School Girls Basketball. Our next game will be on Thursday, December 1st, when the Vikings will travel to Mondovi to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pre-game at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, December 1st.
We're back here at Clear Lake High School, where the Vikings have come out on top tonight by a score of 38-25 over the Clear Lake Warriors, bringing their record to 2 wins and 1 loss on the season before they head into conference play. Dan, your final thoughts for tonight? Whoa, hang on. I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, good start to the Colfax season here for the girls. And let's see if they can keep rolling on Thursday night.
That'll be an exciting one as they head into conference play, trying to defend that 4-time-in-a-row conference title and start the quest for one for the thumb.
Yeah.
That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers used to say when they were going for that 5th Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, let's see what the boys can do tomorrow night.
And then the girls on Thursday, boys also on Thursday. So let's take a look at that. Join us here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday. That's December 1st as the Viking girls travel to Mondovi to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame at 6:50. That'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball on Thursday, December 1st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, don't forget to join us on our newest channel, NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network tomorrow night, November 29th, as the Viking boys will travel to Amory to take on the Amory Warriors. That's all weather permitting, because the rumor has it there might be some nasty stuff coming, but we live in Wisconsin. Those rumors are always there. Live coverage is supposed to begin with Viking pregame at 6:50. That'll be followed by all the Live play-by-play action, that's Colfax Boys Basketball on Tuesday, November 29th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. And don't forget to start making your plans to tune into either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN-TV for our Christmas gift to you 2022. We will bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve, beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Want to remind you that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way your mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, this is Rick Olson reminding you once again that score, Colfax Vikings 38, Clear Lake Warriors 25. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.